It's 20 to 2. Welcome back. You're on the money with me, Liam Halligan. It's time now for my daily interview series, Money Talks. Now, we all know that e-commerce boomed during the pandemic as high streets largely shut down. And many of us, of course, were forced to stay at home. So with around a third of all retail sales now online, up from just a fifth a couple of years ago, what's the future of shopping as technology advances? Well, Newport-based BrandLab 360 is a technology and software company launched in 2016. The company focuses on V-commerce. Yeah, you heard it right, V-commerce, which uses virtual and augmented reality technology to sell goods and services. It's a bit like Blade Runner, but with sofas and makeup and garden furniture instead of robots. BrandLab 360 is an early adopter of what's called metaverse-style technology. So let's meet the company's founders, Dan O'Connell and Jennifer Drury. They're my latest Money Talks guests. So grateful you've come into the studio, up from Wales. A bit of a Welsh theme to the show today, and I'm going to be off to Cardiff soon. I can exclusively reveal to present On the Money. Tell us about how the business came about.
Well, BrandLab was originally a provider of software services for the fashion industry, the wholesale fashion industry, where fashion brands would sell their product online with e-com style tech to their retailers buying ahead for their fall collections. Our move into the metaverse style stuff was from feedback from fashion buyers. They needed to be able to, one, replicate that human experience of being together with their sales rep, but more importantly, they needed to do what they do in real life, which is pick up items from from a collection, maybe of thousands of pieces, and merchandise a rail of 20 or 30 and imagine it in their store. We realized there and then the only way to achieve those type of real life experiences was gamification, virtual reality. So we set about building our platform.
3Ds and almost hologram style images. Jennifer, what's the difference between buying some clothes, shoes, a dress, a jumper for somebody online, if it's just a flat photo, or if it's actually the metaverse style technology that BrandLab 360 deals in?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few differences. Obviously, we're not changing e-commerce. E-commerce still very much exists. It's about elevating that experience and allowing
e-commerce,
allowing the
I like that today.
allowing the buyer to feel more immersed in the experience. It's a proven fact that you know, if somebody is in an immersified, gamified experience, then they're more likely to spend more time and therefore more money. So customer spend dramatically increases in a metaverse environment rather than just on a traditional e-com site. So, and obviously the brand then gets to tell the brand story in a way that they wouldn't with those flat images. So it can bring the garment to life with 360 imagery, and you know, they can move garments, you know, from one rail to another, match clothes. So obviously in the wholesale industry, it was ideal for assortment building for buyers, whereas in the retail direct-to-consumer industry, it's more about allowing consumers to shop as they would in a real life store rather than on an e-com platform.
Now, I was knocking about in the mid to late 90s when sort of, you know, e-commerce began. I must say I'm amazed at the extent to which I thought you can't buy a pair of shoes online. You got to try them on. You can't buy clothes online, but of course you can. It's happening. People like me were wrong. But in the end, Daniel, for certain garments, you just want to touch and feel them. If you're going to buy a bed, you need to lie on the bed. You need to sit on the sofa. How far can this kind of virtual shopping go?
Yeah, I quite agree. And that's always been the case. And physical shopping will always remain the most important thing. But as Jen said, we're talking about elevating e-com. E-com as a piece of tech hasn't really evolved really in 25 years. But the main thing is it's a sole experience. You go online and it's just you. With metaverse style experiences, you can invite your friends. You can be in there with other people. It's a cool...
Even though you're sitting in your own respective living rooms.
And since the onset of civilization, humans are wired to congregate with each other. And when congregations happen, commerce happens. When they're together in metaverse style experiences, they're more likely to buy, they're more likely to stay engaged, and conversion rates, I think it's 2% on an e-com start to finish to buy. On V-commerce, it's 17%.
Wow.
Because you're less likely to be distracted if you're in an immersive experience with your friends, with your peers.
How important is that interactivity, Jen? You can literally go shopping with your friends online.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, like you said, sit in your living room and invite your friends in, and we can replicate that experience over and over. So you can be in that store environment with your group of friends, and it can be like a private shopping experience for you. So I think it's proven that with friends, people tend to spend a lot more, and again, they remain within the environment for longer. And as Dan said, they don't get distracted. I mean, how many times have you sat there shopping on your phone while you're watching EastEnders and you're putting things in your basket, and obviously you're forgetting about them, or you're thinking you'll go back later. But when you're immersed in that experience, it's a commitment that you're going on there to buy, and you're going on there to spend your time and money. So
the next question's a googly, Jen, so I'm going to ask you first, chivalrous man that I am. You two are a couple. What's it like working together as a couple? Because a lot of people watch you will think, oh, my God, how do you do it? No disrespect to you, Dan. In general, the principle, what's it been like being together, but also being together in business?
That's for us.
You've thrown me. Yeah, it's absolutely, it's very easy, and we're very aligned.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Any comment, Daniel? Remember Valentine's Day yesterday?
I quite agree. I think one advantage is we've been incredibly busy since the onset of the dreadful pandemic, and since Mr. Zuckerberg uttered the words metaverse in November, we've just seen a huge increase in how busy the business. So I don't think we have time for anything else but to work hard.
Moving swiftly on, you can buy me a pint later. Just what is metaverse? It's 3D interactive. You describe in your words what metaverse is. Okay,
the best way to describe it, the way we currently consume the internet is that we're on the outside looking at a website. We're clicking photographs, we're adding stuff to baskets. In the metaverse, you're inside of that website. You're moving around, you're interacting with others. And as Jen mentioned earlier, in fact, we're able now to stream photorealistic graphics and have hundreds and thousands of people in the same environments. They can congregate product launches. You can meet digital twin avatars of influencers who can walk up to you as you walk through the store and take you to a pre-assorted rail of clothes they've recommended for you, which for someone who hates shopping like me, Liam, is a great thing.
I can't believe you hate shopping. Jen, it sounds like a really interesting business. We wish you all the best of luck, but I have got a bit of a sting in the tail, if you don't mind. Look, people getting together on the high street, in the market square, that's such an important part of our communities. Across the UK, not just the cities, but particularly the towns, the smaller towns.
Yeah.
Aren't we at risk of losing something precious here as the online shopping experience gets more and more and more sophisticated?
I think people will always do that. As Dan said, people are wired to congregate and to be together. I think what we're doing as a company is actually a positive thing, because if you're shopping on e-commerce or you're just browsing a website, then you're not interacting, whereas we're almost overlaying that experience with an interactive and community experience. And, so
you're trying to augment rather than place.
Yeah.
A bunch of friends getting together on a Saturday afternoon for a shop, a coffee, a natter.
Yeah.
All the things that make the world go round.
Yeah, well, macroeconomic factors has made high streets what they are. But imagine that person in an independent boutique waiting for a customer to come in. But while they're doing that, they can send off their live link of their virtual store and invite people who can't travel in. But they can reach people in the rest of the country, the rest of the world. We held a virtual
Maybe bring the granny along.
Absolutely. We held a virtual trade show where a store owner in Philadelphia bought a small order, admittedly, from a London small emerging brand. Now, would that buyer have flew over to London to go to a trade show to do that? No, but they can click a link and in 5 seconds they were interacting with that customer. It can bring people together, and it's kind of a real cascading cultural shift happening at the moment with the metaverse and the way people are consuming the internet, and it's happening way faster than even we thought, and we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
From e-commerce to V-commerce. Daniel O'Connell, Jennifer Drury, founders, co-collaborators, partners of BrandLab 360. Great to have you on Money Talks, and all the very best of luck with your business, and great to have some Welsh accents on the show.
Thank you so much.
Lots of you emailed me on the cost of living.